page up.
Sure.
I'll start out today with the OES situation report for the month. It's been a kind of a different month for this time of the year. Normally it's quiet. The only changes in the balances are we spent $295 of best money for the lettering for the side of the trailer. We're at 1.96 inches low for rain already for this year, and the Middle Island's running at 24 inches above normal winter pool. I suspect that will change greatly in the next 24 hours. We've had several real good meetings this month. The first one we had was with the EDA and the gas companies down at the 4-H Center. We presented 4 projects that we have on the list of things that we're trying to accomplish. We presented the shelter project, the LZ project at the high school, the trail project at the middle school. The 4-H jumped on the trail project with the Mark West, and what that project was we have an escape route around the hillside to relocate everybody in case of a hazmat type disaster or incident that would block the entrance to their school there. It's a last resort way of walking them out. And Mark West, we've got a minor slip in it's an old pipeline right away, and the board built a bridge on it years ago. It's been, since the school's been there, the plan's been in there, and that's been in effect. Mark West is going to bring in personnel and equipment. The 4-H wanted to jump on it with strong backs and weak minds, a lot of kids, the community project. It's scheduled there, I believe the date on that is the 1st of May, first weekend of May, I think the 4th. There'll be some more stuff out on it later on. They're still coordinating. They're going to bring a small bobcat in or something to remove the slip and stuff. So that project went real good. We got involved in the community dinner for Steve Kelly. That project went real well. We toured the Mark West plant on the 11th. I've got a date out of sync there. But anyway, at Sherwood, all the fire departments in the county were represented. We toured the new plant up there and the emergency squads for potential emergencies there, and to develop a standard operating plan there. It turned out more to be a class than a plan. We're going to have another meeting in the early spring on it. We was supposed to tour the county again yesterday with the Parks as representative from Barnes and Brass and Parksburg, the electricians, and they called yesterday with well, they've laid it over twice now. Now we're on to Friday to do that tour. I saw 2 of the people here today, Mr. Messenger and AA. The rest of them I'll be around. We'll be around with the electrician to maybe get a better price or another price on that project. We're still working on it. Mike picked the letters up at Evans Racing for the trailer at Smithburg. They still haven't been put on yet. We're looking for some warm weather. On February 25th, we had might as well call it a countywide incident on 18 on Pumpkin Center Road is where it started with the logging accident. Turned into be kind of a drill. We had 2 squads, 2 fire departments, and an inaccessible scene. We ended up with using private vehicles to extricate the bodies. And on the 28th, we had a fire rescue levy, which I'll talk to you more about coming up. A fire rescue levy meeting down at the West Union Fire Department to try to come up with a proposal. Upcoming events, we still have waiting on Red Cross for our shelter training. I can't get any movement out of them on that. We've got an LEPC meeting set up for next Thursday, the 14th. Communications will be the main topic, and we will outline the standard operating procedures that we have developed and try to get everybody on the same page. We're working with the health department coming up in the 1st of April for what we hope will be a preliminary meeting, a tabletop for a mock disaster. The health department is going to foot the bill for a dinner, and we're going to try to get everybody together, all the organizations together, and we're going to try to pick out 3 different scenarios, but we'll emphasize one, and we're going to try to develop we'll walk through the procedure, like tabletop for the procedures in what we would do in a disaster, since we've not, other than small incidents, we've not had that problem recently, and I hope we never have to use that disaster plan, but this would be for an incident. Of course, we've always got bus wreck. We've run that scenario a couple times. We've run, we're looking for something with multi-casualties. The health department suggested a mass inoculation. I said no, I didn't think we wanted to line everybody up for a mass inoculation. So I think the scenario we're going to work on is maybe a chemical spill at the high school, where we have the kids are real good to participate. They like that a lot. We're going to try to work that out. We've got all the potential there. We've got the 3-line system that we use for decontamination. And what we'll do is we'll physically do the tabletop now, and in the fall we'll actually do a walkthrough of the disaster. Let everybody figure out what's going on. We'll, of course, that'll incorporate the 911 center, all the ambulances, services in the county, the fire departments. We'll try to bring all the emergency organizations in and the volunteers. So anything that has to do with the school ends up as utter chaos, and we're trying to get everybody's handle on, let everybody know, the public and everybody know the procedures, and then we know we can get them in. The school board, this goes in with their plan. They have to do something. The health department has to do something. Several of the other organizations have to do something for the county. So we're going to try to consolidate this into just doing it one time so we don't beat it to death. Health department's been real cooperative with us on this, and they're real interested in getting this done. So they're working on their end. I told them I'd try to hold up my end, and we get some of the other organizations involved. That'll be one of the things discussed at the LEPC meeting on the 14th. Communications will be the big thing. Communications, if we can get the communications leg done, that'll be the end of the plan. We can have an LEPC meeting to organize everything and implement everything, put everything in operation. We've had a lot of real good suggestions. We're still waiting on the web site for the county. The web site. I've had a couple volunteers to ask me if they said they would help us with a website. Initially, what we're wanting to do is get the county's website established, and then we become a link on that website along with all the offices, organizations, so that we have a central point. We've got our telephones up and operating. I've got some things going on with the radio station. We're going to try to do some public things with the local radio station to try to help some things get started there. We've figured out about a half a dozen different ways to communicate with the public in the case of a disaster, and that's what we're looking for, a kind of a shotgun effect. If we put it out in a lot of different directions, maybe it'll hit something and hook one. That's pretty much all for OES this month. I also have prepared for the levy. You guys were needing numbers for the potential levy. We haven't done anything more than have a meeting with the. I'm going to get 3 copies of that.
I don't need one.
Give it to them. The numbers that you see in front of you are what I talked to David, and I invited Mr. Smoggle to the meeting today. And what we come up with was, if we attempt a levy this is where it gets it's hard to understand. What we did is we took the last levy that we had, we took those rates and applied them to last year's evaluations and looked at the projected amount of monies that would be produced under a levy, an excess levy of that amount, and it come out to about $201,000, $201,000. And then we met with all the organizations and we compared the workers' comp and insurance for each of the 6 organizations in the county, and it came out to $138,105.06, which means that if we decide to do a levy, there is enough levy, I don't want to say this, there's enough window there that we could pass a levy and generate the money we want. In fact, we wouldn't, you can only levy so many mills per county. Okay, now, there's been a couple questions raised, very good questions. Number one, Mr. Spinogle said that the actual term of this is an excess levy. So that means you guys have spent all your money, and we're going to ask the people of the county to kick in a little more money for us. And with the projected windfall, we wondered if that was going to be the case, if this would not be better to be put in as a line item and dealt with on a yearly basis than to try to pass a levy and wait 18 months to do this. If we go, and I understand that I haven't filled out the proper forms and stuff to do this with, but at this point in time, I'm more or less fishing here. I need to know which direction to go. If we go to a levy, we're going to have to get the lawyers involved. We're going to have to find an election to get it on. Then it's going to be about 18 months before we actually see any money physically trickle down to us. If we go as a line item and it ends up in the budget and it's produced, and then we have to address it year to year, we can do that. It's not a problem. The administration or the organization is set up to handle that through fire rescue. And that'd be something else that we need to talk about is if we want to go that route or go individual route. The general consensus of the department is that if it's not broke, don't fix it, of all the departments. So they're willing to run through fire rescue and do that. If you want to go to individual departments, a lot of them, the only question they had on it was they did not want to get tied into one lump sum of vehicle insurance because that fluctuates, that ruins everybody's rate. Greenwood's real proud of their having had an accident in so many years, and their rate's real low for the vehicle insurance. But and there again, it makes no difference to me one way or another. What I'm trying to get across here is, I guess I'm trying to ask the question is, what's your guys' feelings on this, and which direction should I go from here, or should we go from here?
Well, I'll speak. Well, go ahead, Shirley. You go ahead. If you got something to say, I'll be glad.
We're going to be able to afford 2 emergency squads.
I don't think this has anything to do with that question. I think
You
this
said it
is
was a line item.
line item on the budget, and it'd be addressed each year. So I guess if the taxes weren't as high next year as they are this year, then it's like any other line item in a budget, you know, it's cut. If we run a 3-year levy, the only thing we know is we got 3 years before we have to address it again. We have to run another levy. So this would be addressed every year. So we would just become we'd just be represented up here on a yearly basis. That's all. That's the only difference between this and a levy. You guys would pay it versus it coming out and then sending the sheriff's department sending a check out to the treasurer, and the treasurer dividing it up like we do now. So this would be one time a year versus every 3 years. But we run all the members of fire rescue. That was the way that they voted on it down there. We just run. That's why the emergency squad's in there.
My feeling is, excuse me, this month we're going to be addressing the budget issues. If we went with a levy, then it obviously wouldn't come out of the budget. If we put it in the budget, we wouldn't have to have a levy. It's going to affect the rate that taxpayers are paying in their taxes either way.
Yeah.
If we chose one or the other. We don't have enough information at this point, because we're just getting started into the budget
I
process.
understand that, that's why
Right.
I'm willing to
Exactly.
wait and fill out the forms, and I just saw the form there a minute ago, but, fill out the forms, I'm getting the form right now, I think.
Yeah,
But, we'll jump through the hoops either way.
right.
But what we're wanting to know is, we're wanting direction, which way should we go, because we're trying to feel our way through this, and
Well, I
we want to
think,
do it right.
yeah, I think what we need to do, and I understand there's some urgency on your part, but I think what we need to do is we have to have the figures, the projected figures, in hand before we can make any decisions. And, this is something that once we institute it, then it's going to be there every year, if it was going to be a line item. So, probably in another month, we'll have a better idea, because we have to have our budget set, I think it's by March 28th, I believe.
Well,
And so, I think that we will make the decision.
let me do this, we've got the numbers now, we've got Mr. Small, I'm sure worked diligently overtime, any extra hours to do this. But, yeah, trying to help him out all I can. No, Dave's been very forward, we've worked together on a lot of these letters. Let me fill stuff out, I'll submit it to the budget, you guys make your decision. If it doesn't go that route, then we'll go back to the levy route, and we'll go. And if you guys have questions, please, you'll see me back the first of the month, but if you need anything, let me know. I'll be more than glad to appear again and try to answer the questions, or we can do what we can.
Right.
Can I ask one clarification? Is the process for a line item, you request a line item, in terms of the form, kind of information you want, is that the same as for contributions out of the Commissioner's contribution account? Using the same
Unless
set up
they,
application?
unless they set up something separate for that. We'd have to look and see what line items available, or even an account maybe.
Okay. But you're looking for people to fill out that same kind of information?
Yeah.
Anything over $1,000? Okay, all right.
I think we did that one pretty good.
That was gonna be my answer to you. We've not entered our budget process yet, but when we do, we'll know more. We can't give you an answer today because
I understand that, that's why I I wanted to be prepared, and we tried to rush, get everybody to there, and if not, any other questions?
yeah, I have a question. I have a question for the clerk. Who's working on our website? Anybody?
I'm to see that lady this weekend. I'm going to Charleston, and I'll see Kathy, and she can give me guidance. And
The-
you have to.
Yes, the biggest problem I found with the website is not the construction of the website, is the maintaining of the website. We have to have somebody physically will maintain it. And that's, we're working on getting somebody to maintain our link on the site, but if we get anything else, this could end up to be, I've been talking to some of the other counties and some of the other organizations, that if we get a website, that maybe we can even cut down a lot of traffic in the courthouse, because people come pay their taxes online, they can, they can do a lot of stuff that would save the courthouse traffic out here. And I mean, I hate paying that extra $5 to get frisked every time we come in here.
You're willing to help, you have volunteers willing to help on this?
Maintain the website, yes, I do.
Thank you.
And,
Now,
in
is that
fact,
for just your portion of it, or for the whole?
our portion. I'll take care of us.
Okay.
I think we probably need, do we need to put that on the agenda for the next meeting? I think it's about time we get earnest about this and
Yes.
get it
By
done.
that time, I'll see a lady from
Good.
Association.
If not, give her 3 days in the electric chair, no vote.
I didn't call this month because I knew they were getting ready for this meeting coming up. And Debbie and I go down Sunday, and we'll be back Tuesday night, so I thought down there would be a good chance to sit down and talk with them.
Okay, one other thing I've got to say to everybody, batten down the hatches. I didn't get the weather briefing this morning from Charleston, and they're sometimes a little neglectful on what time they get up in the morning. I think they're on banker's hours down there, but the last I had was 5 to 10 inches of snow tonight, starting at midnight.
Okay.
So that's pretty much, we're under a weather advisory for Douglas County until 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, so please be careful.
Thanks, Pat.
Hey, Pat, I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this levy and all of this, is this just for the fire department?
No, it's for the Dodge County Fire Rescue, which includes the emergency squad. It's for the 4 fire departments and the emergencies.
Again, are we gonna have 2 ambulance services? I mean,
We got 2 ambulance
I know
services.
we do. I know we have 2 of everything in this
The
county.
difference here, this isn't full pay. This
isn't
is
what?
not,
No,
this does not pay.
this pays for
volunteer.
workers' compensation, which is eating everybody up. The state's mandated we have workers' comp
Right,
and our
right.
vehicle insurance. That's what it's paying.
Is it going to be
And that's
prorated?
already paid, I believe, by the county commission now. So
No,
that
these
means
are
everybody
actual
in the county will be
figures
equal on.
that he's got.
Any other questions?
Just want to make sure I
Yes.
understood it.
I have a question. You said you toured the Mark West facilities.
Yes, sir.
Do they have a management plan on stormwater runoff?
I believe so. They talked
Are
about
there any
that.
retention ponds built?
Yes, they have one pond up there now. The existing pond that was there, they're using it for stormwater runoff. I don't know about the other site. We visited the site, but it was dark. We couldn't really tour the actual, what they call the reverse side of the facility where the tanks are.
Because all of that construction up there no longer will be absorbed into the ground. It will be runoff, and it will come through the big city here.
I know that they have, under the propane tanks, they have retention, concrete retention.
That's only to catch pollution.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about stormwater runoff. That's a massive area up there, and the water that will no longer be absorbed into the ground. It is runoff. The parking lot they have in the valley down there, that is all runs into the creek now. It's not absorbed into the ground. Have their engineers made provisions for retention ponds and so forth to accumulate and catch this water and release it at a given time?
I can't, I didn't see any of that other than existing ponds that were up there. But we actually physically didn't get to tour the plant. I will say you're right, it is a massive facility. You're right, it scares me to death about the potential up there, but it's located in a place that, what they worry about is what's called Levy, boiling liquid vapor explosion. And the existing plants that we have actual collateral damage to residents because she experiences it down at her place. If the plant would go down there's places that would actually be in the in explosion area. We don't have a lot. We only have about 3 families up there to deal with, and it's a lot different situations. The containment pipe there in Bowl the Hill. Whoever laid that out up there did a real good job about, as far as the fire departments are concerned. And-
Fire safety is what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
But that's what we were looking at that night. I really didn't pay attention to other than the existing ponds where we were talking about the good fish that used to be in it.
Because I'm sure there are ponds up there to catch pollution. But I'm talking about stormwater runoff.
That
It's
pond,
a massive problem.
Excuse me, Mariana, wait your turn, please.
Okay?
Wait till he gets done.
Also, to direct you, I will inform you that our agency, the Conservation Agency, we have to have 80% blockage of a stream that is affecting a town or residents before we can come in and clean out the stream blockage. Okay? So just remember that every time you see a tree in the creek, we're not going to take it out. But if you've got 20 trees in the creek, we will respond. All right?
How about an upside down tanker?
That works.
Yeah.
Okay, Mariana.
what I was going to, that pond, when you go into, I've toured the Mark West facility, okay, and we saw it in the daylight. And what I was told, when you drive back in there, and you
On the
go
left
through
side.
those gates, that pond that's on the left side is not on Mark West property. Mark West
Right.
bought 17 acres, that's still, and there weren't any other visible ponds behind that mound. But the other thing to consider is the fact they're working on plant number 2, but there's gonna be a plant number 3.
They told us that up there that night.
Yeah, there's gonna be,
It's just like a bureaucracy, anything that'll happen, it grows.
unfortunately. But during the last high water, also that area where they're filling up the tanks with the propane and the frozen gas, that stuff is right on the stream bed, and I think there was high water, and I don't know if anybody's monitoring.
In my experience of the 32 years I was up there, and that includes the 85 flood, the actual station that they're picking up the stuff at, it probably, with the amount of elevation they raised, it probably wasn't underwater. The high waters in that area tend to run in the where the temporary tanks were. There's a low spot there, and then down on the lower side, on this side of the creek now. Morgan's Run had so much surface and area to spread the water out that it didn't get real deep in there. But it was kind of, when it got down to the lower end, down around Leatherman's farm and Fox's farm, down the lower end down there, for the people that know what I'm talking about, there's kind of a choke point down there, and it tends to pack the water over there and catch it. But up in the Morgan's Run, Denny Cows farm, the meadows were so large that it spread the water out.
Well, let me ask this. If they're gonna build, they build a second plant, they're gonna build a third. Do they have a building permit with that facility?
I don't know.
Has it been modified?
I have no idea. No.
And they was issued a floodplain permit. Has it been modified? Because they've moved about 164,000 cubic yards of dirt. Where did that go?
Like the flat land in Doddridge County, that's unheard of.
May I respond to that?
Go ahead.
There was an initial permit granted by Mr. Evans in sequence with the same one that we had DQT suit there at the same time. And since then, when they started doing some work up there this past fall on the bridge and some things, I told them I wanted to study, an engineer study, showing me what the impact of that would be, including the loading facility that you made reference to. They gave me a good engineering study showing me that the effects would be minimal at best, because it is so spread out in the area right there that you were talking to. Now, I don't believe that all of their additions that they are planning on doing, from what I'm hearing, are in that original permit. I have been waiting until we get something in place to confront them on what they are going to do, and that is another reason that I was trying to get the floodplain ordinance moving along as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Dan. Are you done, Dan?
Yeah.
But I'd like to know, was the engineering firm a company firm or independent firm?
That was a large engineering firm out of Canonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Was it an independent firm or was it a company firm?
I'm not sure I understand your question exactly there. It was a
Was it a
engineering company
Mark
that-
West subsidiary, or was it an independent?
It was hired by Mark West.
Hired by.
Were they licensed to practice in West Virginia?
I believe so, but I cannot swear to yes.
Okay. So I'll bring this request for budget back to you or Beth.
Bring it back to us.
Yes,
We'll get it to Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you.